Hi. In the Bible, we're told, ask and ye shall receive. Kind of simple, right? Well, some people make it harder than it is. This is not a how to video. This is how I do video. How do I ask the universe for help? And I want to put this in context of the law of attraction because it is more than just posing the question or posing the desire or thinking about what you want. Ask and ye shall receive. That second piece is ye shall receive. That is called faith. That's called an expectation. That is the synchronicity between the brain and, if you want to call it, the soul or the heart. That's what that is, and I think a lot of people miss that, and I want to talk about that today.
From the great American Southwest, deep in the heart of the Texas Hill Country near the mystical land of the Enchanted Rock, welcome to my little corner of the internet. I'm J.W. Spencer, and this is my Vision Quest.
Okay, before we get into the meat of today's show, I just want to give you a little bit of a status update, I guess. And put it in terms of status update is this is sort of a dry run of what I hope to produce. And I want to get good enough to do this live so I can interact with you and talk with you while I'm doing it. And I want to get into the habit of doing this every night. So it's going to take me a little bit of time to internalize this myself because I'm still dealing with that artist perfection problem. I want to do this in a way that's good enough, and so that's what I want to tell you. So I want, like I said, I want to do this as if it were a live show. Okay, so but I wanted to talk a little bit about that process. That how do I ask the universe for help, or how do I get those answers to my questions? Because I think that this is innate in everybody. Everybody has the ability to do this. I think because if you think about Carl Jung and psychology, about the collective unconsciousness, that the universe is something grand, and we are more than what we appear to be, which is just, physical beings, biological cells. We're actually much more than that. And a very complex and a very esoteric topic to discuss is the metaphysics of the universe, not the cosmology of the universe. I mean, yeah, I accept science, the laws of physics. I accept the fact that maybe the universe was created by a Big Bang. It seems to be so. But you have to ask, what created the Big Bang? What caused the Big Bang? What existed before the Big Bang occurred? Did time exist? I think that if space-time are interrelated, correlated to each other, and that the speed of light is limited, then I think that we have to say that there are some unanswered questions that we do not know. That, my friend, is why I believe in God. All right? Succinctly, I believe that that's why I believe that we're more than what we appear to be. But back to the question, how do I ask the universe for help? I've already told you, I've trained myself over many years to ask those questions before I go to bed, on the edge of sleep, and I'll train myself to have a dream about the question, and I'll have an answer that night. It sounds simple, right? But if you think about the Bible, ask and ye shall receive. There is the asking part, and then there is the expectation part. You cannot have one without the other. You cannot expect to have an answer to something not asked. So you have to ask. But if all you do is ask and you say, this will never work, you know, if there is no synchronicity between the brain, the thought, the question, and the emotional or the soul or they have to be aligned, these two things, right? The heart and the brain, the soul. If you want to think of it, the conscious and the unconscious, they have to match. They have to have the same desire and the same thirst, but an expectation that the answer is available in the collective unconscious, right? That which exists outside of our conscious mind, an unconscious or a subconscious realm that anybody can access and gain an answer. And if you want to think of it, I want to give you a thought exercise here. My wife is from Oregon, and one of the things that we really love to do, one of my favorite places in the world, is on the coast of Oregon, Newport, Oregon, up to Lincoln City, Oregon. I think, I think Tracy's favorite is Cannon, Oregon, which is north of there, which is due west of Portland on the coast. And I think she likes that area because there's some really majestic rocks out there. But I kind of like Newport, Oregon. When I think of a western shoreline of crab fishing, boats and whatnot, I always think of Newport. It's just a real pretty place to me. Maybe it's because I'm most familiar with that, but it's I-5 that goes up the coast from California all the way up to Washington State. You can drive I-5, the coastal highway. It's not I-5, I'm sorry. Highway 101. Okay, I-5 is the interior interstate that goes from California to Washington. 101 is the highway that goes, it's a U.S. highway, not an interstate, but a U.S. highway that goes from California to Washington State. Can't believe I have those two confused. Anyhow, on 101, there are various places along the coast where there are bridges, and a whole bunch of them. And they have to, there's lots of tributaries, there's lots of bays, lots of estuaries, places where there has to be a bridge to cross from, one cliff to another cliff. And in between the two, there's a bridge. It's somewhat challenging because it is a rocky coastline. Sometimes it is very challenging for engineers. But think about this. There is a river or something that drains into the ocean, okay? And at that spot, there is a deep and wide crevice, or deep and narrow crevice, something that has to be engineered from one side to the other. And a civic engineer, a civil engineer, I should say, with a PE rating, has been doing this for 25, 30 years, building bridges, and that civil engineer goes to work. Gets out his old school slide rule and his Casio or his Texas Instrument calculator and goes to town, makes all these calculations and designs a bridge. And then hands that off to a project manager and a construction crew, and they go to town and they start building it. I believe in the engineering skill of this professional engineer. I believe in the talent and the work product of this construction crew. This construction crew has built many bridges along Highway 101. And that's one thing I can say. I believe in the engineering of the bridge. I believe in the construction of the bridge. I can see the bridge and I can look at it and I can say, man, that is a really nice bridge. Look at that bridge. It's beautiful. That's not to say that I have faith in the bridge. What's the difference between belief and faith? Faith is when you go down to the bridge and you drive across it with your car. That's faith in action. I believe in the bridge, but I do not have faith in the bridge until I put that belief in action and I drive across the bridge. I believe in God. I can see the beauty and wonder of the universe, but I don't have faith in God until I put that belief in action, until I internalize my belief by having faith, by, well, having an expectation of the promises that God makes to us as human beings. One of them being, ask and ye shall receive. A grain of faith can move mountains. I've seen miracles happen in various churches, not just one church, various churches. Miracles happen. God still works on the earth, right? I've seen exorcisms. I've seen demonic possessions. I know that there is a struggle between light and dark. I know that evil exists, and the evil and goodness are in struggle constantly. I know that we have free will. We are all equal, created in the image of God, created with the ability to choose between right and wrong. And when we do something that is wrong, we know it's wrong. Some people relish in that. Some people have no guilty conscience. They know it's wrong and they'll do it anyhow, and they justify it. They rationalize their actions. That's why people get killed over $5 of gas. That's why people hate. Hate will corrode the vessel that it contains. It is like an acid. It's like putting an aluminum washer on a brass fitting, on a brass nut. It will corrode. It will fail. But I think I can say with certainty that that is the way I approach the question. How do I ask the universe for help? I ask the universe for help by asking for help and having an expectation of an answer, because I know the answer is there. I know it's promised to me that if I ask, I will receive. I think that's a lot different than asking for a Porsche or a BMW. But even then, it requires action on your part. You can't just say, I wish I had a BMW and it'll come to fruition. No, that requires action on your part. But if you have your head and your heart aligned, then those things will come to fruition. That's what I believe, because I have faith in that process of how I do it. Does that make sense? And one thing I just, offshoot on this, I don't think that wishing for a BMW or a Porsche is as helpful to you as an individual, to your soul, as asking a question of how do you help somebody? How can I do this in a way that will help someone, relieve their stress, lift them up? How can I help someone and give them encouragement? How can I do this in a way that will help you so you can help me, so I can help my wife? My wife, Tracy, suffers from severe intestinal damage due to her cancer treatment, and I'm doing this so I can help you, so you can help me, so I can help her. And if I help her, then I can help you. And, that's how it goes. If you've not subscribed yet, please subscribe. Give me a chance. I am, as I say, I want to train myself, and I'm trying to get over my artist imperfection, a sense of, not being good enough. I think that's, what I'm fighting against. But if I can help you, let me know. if this video has helped you in any way. And I think that that's where I want to leave it today. I hope that you have a good night. And until next time, see ya.